Welcome back. If last week wasn't challenging enough for stocks, the Friday, HP got decimated after CEO Leo Apotheker came out and basically said that he was going to unload the personal computer services and systems unit and move headfirst into services and software. Now, this was a bit of a shock to the market because HP is the #1 PC maker. Okay, they basically are a $40 billion revenue business. Now, it does account for 31% of revenues, but only 6% of profit, according to a great article on Monday Note by Jean-Louis Gasset, which you should all check out. The numbers actually make sense if you just look at it at arm's length.
In terms of a business move.
In terms of a business move, you saw IBM did this, but I mean, IBM was a different era. Right now, HP is #1 in the PC market, right? And they're growing, albeit it's flat, really, more than anything else. Their tablets aren't necessarily growing, which is why they unloaded the WebOS system and they just killed the touchpad. $100 for a tablet was a pretty good deal. I couldn't find one this weekend. But my question to you is, if you are a consumer, do you care about this? Like, are you still going to buy PCs from HP even if somebody else is going to own them? I mean, they'll be spun off either into, a private equity firm, or they will be acquired by an Oracle just to,
Well, I think the average consumer probably isn't even aware that this is happening. Over the next week or so, it will trickle into the mainstream media and people will hear mentions. Some consumers will be like, great, they're liquidating that stuff. I'm going to go pick up cheap laptops. Other consumers will be like, well, I've had problems with them before. Now that there's no support, I'll totally stay away from it. I think where it's probably going to bite them in the ass the hardest is going to be in terms of I guess their brand awareness. The fact of the matter is most of us know about Hewlett Packard because of the consumer products they sell. As they get out of that, they'll cease to be a household name, and it's going to be it's going to kind of hit that trust element when it comes down to a decision maker within an organization choosing between enterprise level software vendors, and HP's on the list. They're going to be like, well, as far as I can tell, I haven't heard HP's name in a long time. I'm crossing them off and moving on to the next one.
Yeah, the irony is that to actually be successful in software and services, if anything, the PC business I think would help them. The other irony here is that when they announced the touchpad fire sale, they power e-commerce sites, but their e-commerce sites went down. This could have been a great opportunity for them to say, look, we had massive influx of consumers, but we held down the fort. I think the thing that is shocking really is not the decision, right? I mean, the decision you could argue it makes sense. It's just the fact that, over the weekend, I got an email from basically Steven DeFranco, the Senior VP and GM of the Personal Systems Group, who came out and said, no, we're committed to it more than ever. I quote, I would like to reinforce that Todd Bradley, the CEO that runs the unit, along with HP's leadership team, we are committed to this PC business and the product it sells. I mean, did you guys talk? What happened was basically the CEO invited the CEO of this unit, so the CEO of HP invited the CEO of the personal computer unit to his home for dinner the night before it was announced. It's like, could I finish my piece of bread before you make me choke on it? I just find that's what didn't look too logical. It's like me coming down and torching down WatchMojo and then saying, oh, maybe that was a rush, hasty move. Think it through, discuss it before saying, oh man, there's no point of no return here.
Well, even what you just read, it sounds to me a lot like something that would have been spun out of the communications or public relations department. It sounded very templated and scripted. And of course, you're going to tell people you're committed to continue to service them. You're not going to say, you know what, screw you, we're out of it, you're on your own. You just can't say that. So I don't know if he wrote that himself. It sounds a little fluffy. It may or may not be true. And I think it sounds sufficiently templated. It's not even worth discussing.
His Steven DeFranco, his Twitter at SDF at HP. I mean, it's worth following because my guess is that this story is going to change pretty quickly. Okay, let's now move on. I don't really want to make this into software versus hardware and all that. I want to talk this more about, just generally speaking, you've heard the post-PC world, I mean, Apple is kicking butt. I mean, 10 years ago, Apple launched the iPod. Okay, they were down on one knee, back against the wall.
And the reason they did that is because they wanted to start, building up their mobile technology. They saw that music was a way in.
But they also saw that the consumer market was a great market. Like the economy, 66% of the economic GDP comes from consumers. So I'm just saying enterprise is great, but the profit margins are much higher. What doesn't make sense is HP wants to basically shrink its business. I mean, again, depending on how you read the financial statement, the revenues in the PC consumer market for HP are either flat or going down. It depends which accounting you want to use. But 10 years ago, HP doubled down on the PC market by merging with Compaq. So I get it, but to me, the post-PC world or the mobile world is actually not just your iPhone or your BlackBerry or your Android or even a tablet. To me, it's just reaching consumers on the go. Guess where you reach consumers on the go? Big, massive digital screens in malls or mid-sized screens in cabs and stuff.
We're not far off from those screens pretty much showing us content based on an RFID chip in our tablet or in our phone anyway.
Or in our hand.
Yeah, so it's still kind of mobility. The whole post-PC thing, it kind of doesn't make sense because PC just really stands for personal computer. Right now, my personal computer happens to send and receive phone calls, is powered by an open source platform, and I still have it. I think HP it would have made sense for them to drop at least their tablet component. I had never even heard of a Hewlett Packard tablet until all of a sudden they were only $100. I've heard of the Playbook, I've heard of the iPad, I heard of the Samsung, but yeah, HP is kind of like, they did well in the desktop laptop
6
space.
weeks they gave the touchpad. I mean, that's crazy. They bought Palm, whose OS they used just a year ago. I think this is actually a lot more a case study of culture. It's a lot more a case study of turf battles. That is the bigger story here. It's really a lot less about computers. Although, again, just to play devil's advocate, HP, we're going to close on this and then switch to lightning gear. So I just want to touch on this. HP's revenues were $120 billion, but their market cap even before the meltdown on Friday was about $60 billion. So they were trading at 50 cents price-sales ratio. In other words, you've got this big revenue base, but the market's not really rewarding you. So I'm just saying this could have been a great strategic shift if properly executed, communicated. It just wasn't. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back for lightning round. We're going to talk about Disney's latest tech change move. We're going to talk about Ashton Kutcher. We're going to talk about lots of other things, including whether or not AOL should be taken private.